Cook Serve Delicious is a game where you run a restaurant, doing everything from planning out the menu, completing orders, laying rat traps, taking out the garbage, doing dishes, and more. However, what this game really is a typing game. When completing an order, every action you make and every ingredient you assemble are bound to keys on the keyboard. With dozens of menu items, multiple permutations of those items through upgrades, and a few dozen more ingredients, this could be a nightmare for the player with regards to stress levels and feeling overwhelmed, which can be the opposite of fun. In saying that, Cook Serve Delicious does a few things which mitigate the stress of it all in really elegant ways. Let's take a look. Number 1, each menu item can be practiced both before and after purchasing them. It's good that you can practice before committing to purchasing an item, as money can be tight early on, but being able to practice any time means that if a menu item has been out of rotation for a while, or you simply haven't played the game in a hot minute, you can practice before it really matters. Number 2, the first letter of ingredients is the letter you type on the keyboard. Mostly. This is an obvious example of how to make it easier for the player to remember what to press, but at the same time, one worth pointing out. Number 3, you have a limited menu. The fact that you have a limited menu, of which a good percentage is most likely taken up by drinks which require much less memorization, allows players to get familiar through repetition and remember not only the inputs but the cadence and pace of each dish. It would have been easy for the developer to allow the player to add 10 items at once to their menu, but this decision protects the player from themselves in that regard. Finally, number 4, the pacing of the day. This is a gameplay decision which could have been based purely on the context of the setting of the game, but at the same time it works really well for easing the player into each day. Each day starts with a slow slurry of customers that come in and out of the restaurant. You'll most likely only have 1 or 2 orders going at once, but often it's just 1. Then when rush hour hits, which happens twice a day, it'll be 4 orders back to back to back constantly on the go, if not more if you increase the capacity of your restaurant. The fact that each day starts off slow, plus having a slow part in the middle of the day, allows players to get to grips with potentially new items or items which have been out of rotation, whilst feeling the stress of actual consequence as opposed to doing it in practice. Well, there we are. I'm sure you can take away these examples and recontextualize them for your own game. If you are looking for ways to make your game less overwhelming for players, maybe consider giving a safe environment free of consequence where players can practice tasks, make those tasks easily identifiable and compartmentalized, limit the amount of tasks and actions a player has to remember to do at the same time, and make it clear that this is the case for the player, and finally, add artificial ebb and flow to the requirements of the player. Don't make them be doing everything all at once. Thanks for watching. Tune in next week to another episode of the Game Design Library, and keep on keeping on.